skirmish game.
All right, we'll see which one's going to come out on top. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Ahoy Arena, put your hands together. What could be the final game of the night? G2 Esports leads the series 2-0. And hoop, Holland, hoop, look at that flag on the rift.
So, as we dive into this game, the first thing I actually want to draw people's attention to is Perks' summoner spells. He's going for the Comet. He also has a Doran's Ring in his inventory, which means it looks like we're going to be seeing an AEP Eco in the bot lane for Oscar. And I know over in the LPL, this was something they were actually a big proponent of.
Yeah, and it's going to work very similar to when you see other mages like the Orianna, like the Zoe down there. The obnoxious thing about AP Nico is her ability to weave the root through the cannon wave and then just start spamming and chucking Qs on top of you. It's a very poke-oriented champion with a lot of inbuilt utility that can set up very heavy for ganks.
And I want to reinforce that, remember, when that root goes through minions, the more, when it goes through, your root duration is increased at the end as well. So if you ever get hit by it, you end up taking so much damage. And that root goes up to 3 seconds at max rank, which is absolutely devastating.
I mean, the fact that your CC is rewarded when you don't have priority over the lane is pretty crazy on a champion.
And is this Nico the answer to Draven? Is this something that you think G2 may have cooked up?
What's cool is that Draven is going to put a giant target on the ground where he's going to grab his axe. I'll hold it though.
All right, let's take a look. Flag, drag, very good flash from Alphari, but successful gank G2.
Now back to Draven very quickly. Because he's going to pretty much telegraph exactly where he's going to walk, it makes it that much easier to land the root, which does have a pretty big wind-up animation on it.
I will say though that in terms of the straight-up 2v2, Draven Galio should definitely have the advantage.
Yes.
Nico doesn't have a lot of mobility in the lane, and outside of level 6, she is very squishy, and as you can see...
Hello, Origin! Welcome back to Rotterdam!
Just as we talk about the 2v2, the all-in power of this Draven Galio is monstrous. They catch Mickey and Perks off guard, and they find themselves first blood, but Mithy...
Oh, what was that? Getting caught out by that root that you just talked about.
And that's just careless from Mithy. He didn't respect the fact that the minions were dying, that he was going to take the tower aggro, and just unneeded there as now Yanko's possibly getting involved. Good boy, Patrick.
But damn, that could have been such a massive advantage for the side of Origin, and it immediately gets thrown away as Perks finds the counterplay. Ends up being a 1-for-1 down towards the bot side of the map, and already a lot of action in this game 3.
All right, small advantage here, obviously, on the side of OG. We need to see what Patrick can do with that teleport Draven. Alphari's continuously being pushed in. Huge wave in front of him as he's down 13 CS for now, and Noobduck gets jumped on by Caps. Noobduck turns it back around, takes a Mercurial Hammer shot to the face, and Caps escapes for now.
Now, while we've been talking so much about the bot side of the map, the other thing we need to talk about is these 2 solo laners, because first I want to bring people's attention back to the World Championship of last year. One of the counterpicks that came out for Aatrox was in fact this Rise, but I don't have time because
No, we do not. Once again, another flash. Yanko's getting them. Continue story time. No. Mercurial Hammer once again knocking it back. If the accelerated shock blast comes down, maybe, but just not enough damage yet.
So, the reason why I wanted to mention this was because this is actually a pretty advantageous matchup towards the top side, and it was something that G2 drafted early on, so they could flex it wherever they got the best matchup. They then saved the Jace pick for the end, and this is also considered a pretty good matchup into the Akali. I think it was popularized by Rookie as well over in the LPL, and it's something that you can just itemize early magic resistance. The Q can hit you even though you're in the fog of war. You can knock the Akali back and keep her at arm's length, and during the laning phase, you can just constantly harass her. So G2 actually have winning side lanes, and they have Yankos on this Jarvan just constantly ganking in the early game.
And it's a really unfortunate wave positioning as well for Noobduck, which is why he's forced to pull Cold over here. They need to get this wave under the tower and reset him, because Caps is just going to continue to abuse this matchup like this. It's finally starting to push back in his favor.
We just saw a glimpse of Cold showing his face. The game has been played all around him. He's yet to find an opportunity. Yankos just sniffing up behind him. Thank you for the vision toggle. Observers. Cold will be looking to make the first move here on Wonder. Wonder's still got flash available. Teleport already being channeled. The knockup from the Unburrow will not find a target. Here comes Cap to the skies. Puts the hammer down. Alphari gets a chilling smite from Yankos. Cold shock blasted in the bottom. He's trying to escape now. That's a flash forward from Cap. What? 2 kills to G2.
And it's the confidence of G2 to recognize when they can split apart. You know, they didn't overcommit one way and let both kills get away or just take one. They managed to kill both people because they recognize, Yankos, you got that? Perfect, we've got this guy.
what do you do against this G2 squad? They're running the triple teleport. Whenever you think that you can make a play in your favor, immediately there to answer like, I really want to reinforce Cold is doing what he can. He is looking for these early game plays, but G2, they always seem to have an answer to every play that you try to make.
I think the unfortunate thing is that Cold is put on defensive duty. Not only did he need to babysit Nuke Duck on the Akali for the wave to come back in favor for him so he could farm safely, but he also needed to babysit Alfari because he was that far forward without the flash. So unfortunately, it's disrupting a lot of what Cold wants to do, his own game plan, to keep his laners safe.
And unfortunately for Alfari, he has not had a great series. Game 1, he got outclassed by Wonder. Game 2, he was hard camped. In Game 3, he's already been ganked. He's now had been counter-ganked and has fallen even further behind. And now we see a matchup between the two mid lanes.
Oh man, look at the damage. All right, Nuke decides to go back in. Caps may find an opportunity, but there's a gigantic minion wave in front. Cold may have to body block here if any of those shock blasts come down.
And you can see how devastating this matchup is. As soon as Akali goes into the Shroud, you can pop your W with the chase and basically just try to run her out. And then anytime she leaps forward aggressively on you, you just use the E to reset and then tag her with auto attacks at a distance.
Catch a glimpse of Perks and Mickey down the bottom lane as Caps once again is jumping onto Nuke Duck. It's a small CS advantage. He's got himself that Hex Drinker as Alfari gets caught out by the overload. G2 Esports 1,000 gold up at 6 minutes. 3 kills to 1. It just feels like everything they touch turns to gold.
Yeah. Quite literally, because every time they touch the enemy team, it seems like they always get converted into gold, as Wonder now looking for a play onto Alfari.
All right, Wonder's going to be able to sidestep out. Jankos and Alfari going to look for the double tap, and Wonder just so beautifully done.
That was really unfortunate for Alfari. He wanted to try and get the flash into Q to get the execute onto Wonder, but he got interrupted and put into his ultimate, which cancelled the animation, meaning he was then locked in his rebirth animation, making an easy kill for the side of G2 Esports once again. Alfari, he really has been the focus for the side of G2 to try and shut down in this series.
Yeah, really difficult series for Alfari, but for OG as a whole. They had to step up. Game 1 was so close for so long. And a couple of decisions, a couple of moves from Perks ended up sealing the deal. Obviously, the funnel in Game 2 was one of the most impressive outplays as a team, both from a strategic and an individual approach. And right now, G2 have got an early advantage in Game 3.
And it's kind of the fact that we're playing as close to standard League of Legends as we could get over the course of kind of both best of fives this weekend. But even then, it's not enough. We're like, okay, this is finally Origin's time to strike. The level is neutral. They know exactly how they want to attack the map. Maybe they can get to their win conditions, but it doesn't matter. G2 beat them with the funnel. They beat them with the Sonateric, and now they're just beating them with standard League of Legends.
Yep, and this Perks, Nico AP down bottom. A lot of damage there onto Patrick. And look at this exchange as the stand aside comes out. Perks and Mickey decide to back away for now. Waiting to see if that Pop Blossom is needed. It is not for the time being. And Cold is now making his way down south. Just a quick stop off at the Brambleback. And it feels like an all-in is always on the cards for G2. But it's not going to happen just yet.
Looks like right now Cold looking for something, but he will get spotted out by a ward. Origin doing a good job of controlling the river, but I don't know if it's enough as we see an all-in in the bottom.
Alright, there we go. Pop Blossom was used. Mickey is very low. Mithy throws out the Winds of War. Now the spinning axes are there. Take a look at the mid lane. Jankos goes down. Finally, OG get another one back. But Caps has got the red buff, and he's got a lot of damage to play with. Not going to be a follow-up chase from Nuke Duck, who just has those long swords and the amp tome. With the pressure, with the Draven Galio down by Patrick, he's now looking for the kill. That's a flash forward. Two-man taunt, Justice punch to the face. Mithy kills Mickey. Perks runs for his life. He manages to get one, and spinning action just about do the kill. Step forward, that's one. Not enough. Look at the Pop Blossom. The roots, not going to be the kill. Patrick has got the vamp.
You gotta run, Patrick.
He's staying alive for now. No flash available. Going to just get the clone. Caps, shock blast, not going to be enough. And it's Perks that's on the killing spree.
Fancy footwork.
Beautiful stuff there from Perks. Caps ends up coming down, forcing Patrick to have to dive underneath the turret. let's have a look back at how this play in mid lane happened. So it ends up being a 2v2 between mid and junglers. Now remember, Rek'Sai and Akali very strong in the 2 versus 2, and their focus was just to execute caps, but they turned their attention onto Jankos because he looked like he was going to kill Cold. The problem is that then bounces Cold into caps, allowing him to grab that red buff. So while this may look like a pretty even 1-for-1 trade, the Jace getting the red buff just makes this matchup that much harder and gives him so much more pressure in the 1 versus 1.
And it's also the fact that Nukeduck wasn't the hiccup of that kill that in fact went to the Rek'Sai. So not only did he lose the red buff, but that's also capped with extra gold, walking him down.
I was waiting to see if Mickey could have got that Devour down. Wasn't able to do so. And Cold, it's so tough. I'm looking at him trying to position around this bottom lane. Like I said a moment or two ago, the game is being played around him. He simply hasn't had an opportunity to get involved until now. Mickey goes in with the Abyssal Voice. Patrick is already chunked down very, very low. Whirling Death will fly out and come back and way too late. Now Nukeduck jumping in the back. Pop Blossom from Perks. AP Nico does so much damage. Nukeduck unable to kill Mickey, but Cold goes down. Caps puts the hammer down. Cataclysm of Jankos picks up another. Perks picks up a third. G2 Esports are destroying Origin.
And it's divide and conquer from G2 in all of these team fights. Again, the fact that their target selection is so strong that they split the team fight and they manage to kill everyone, not a single survivor on Origin's side.
Absolute obliteration in the early game, but now Alfari may be able to get something back. Never mind, another teleport.
Wonder is just too good. He sidesteps everything, finishes the round warp, and I'm half expecting Caps to get the kill. Not gonna find it just yet. The G2 are just they're in another league, and they are simply destroying Origin. This replay brought to you by Anyway.
So the collapse comes in with the Mickey's ultimate, and you think, okay, this is actually fine for Origin because they have the TP coming in, but Patrick dies so quickly, and then the fight gets split up. So notice how Nico can just keep Nukeduck locked up, even though he's stuck in his shroud. A great stopwatch for Mickey means that they're able to get the 2v1 against Nukeduck. Meanwhile, a 2v2 is happening underneath the tower that Captain Jankos is just ripping through, and they end up walking away with 4 kills for 0.
And then a second later, Caps is teleporting up into the top lane, and it's a 2v1 for Alfari. There is no room for Origin to breathe.
There absolutely is not. And while G2 are not killing Origin members yet, I'm gonna take a quick opportunity to remind everybody of just how many titles Perks has managed to accrue over the course of his career. 4 times winner of Europe. If he wins today, which is looking very likely, he will equal Soaz and Yellowstar, the most winningest players in Europe. More important than that, to me, is the fact that Jankos, Wonder, and Mickey will be picking up their first titles.
Yeah, they certainly will. A lot of members... Ooh. A lot of members on the side of G2 yet to win their first title. But how can you say they don't deserve it with the performances that every G2 player has demonstrated today?
Yeah, I mean, Nukeduck is now going to get caught out by 2 members. He's going to look for Caps, but I don't even think he's going to be able to find him. Still has to get through a Hex Drinker. Wonder is going to run him down.
There's more action in the bot lane.
It's already over, Vedius. Ladies and gentlemen, fans of G2 in the Ahoy Arena, are you not entertained? There was huge cheers for G2 Esports earlier today. You can see why. When they first won a title in 2016, they were the new kids on the block. They were the newcomers to Europe. They won 4 in a row, and then what's looking like their 5th title is going to be a re-ignition of the G2 dynasty.
And I think it's time for G2 to step out of the shadow of being the villains of Europe, and people need to respect them as the possible heroes. If any team is going to make the international stage tremble, it should be this one. We have never seen a collection so dominant as these 5.
I've said it before, I've said it again, I will say it again rather. This EU roster has the potential to be the greatest European roster that Europe has ever produced. And G2 have looked so dominant in this final. Every game has looked so one-sided, and G2 have done it differently in every single game.
G2 have looked so dominant this year, Vedius, and it has not stopped. Wonder will get caught up by Alfari, but I don't even know if he's got enough to kill him. Wonder's able to escape with his life, and the world ender will end Origin's world, as it is Mickey that picks up the 15th kill before 15 minutes. G2 Esports, Origin have family. Look at what you're doing to them. And it was a difficult series for Origin coming into it. And everything that Origin tried to do, G2 had an answer for.
We are close to a 10k gold difference between these teams at 15 minutes in. It is crazy how fast G2 are just speed running. Games done quick on Origin.
If you're a European fan watching this right now, imagine what this team is going to.
Very ambitious.
Yeah, we'll ignore the game 4 POV, but I mean, if you're a European fan watching right now, just imagine what this G2 is what opportunities they have at MSI. They are obviously one Nexus away from securing that position, but they have been the #1 team all split. Nico Perks takes her down Patrick, Nippy forced to flash defensively. 9,000 gold up, 16 minutes in. They set the quickest Baron record of the split. This is G2. They might be able to break it this game.
And we're talking a lot about G2 and how dominant they've been, but you've got to look for a first split for this Origin squad. They have had a very impressive split so far, and while for sure this game by no means is over yet, on paper expectations are that they should not be able to come back from such a massive deficit so early on into the game. And again, their goal at the beginning of the split was just to make playoffs. The fact that so many of these players who have achieved a lot on unsuccessful teams to be able to make the final just showcases the caliber and talent that this roster does possess. And while this split, they could not compete against G2, they now have a benchmark to work towards.
I mean, to be fair, no one could contest G2. Basically, they took a vacation in the back half of their summer split to prepare for this moment.
1, 2, 3, goodbye! That's going to be a taunt out from mid for G2 Esports inside the base. Can they finish this before 20 minutes? Pop Blossom goes down. Perks and the rest of G2, they may be looking to set the fastest win of European Finals history. They're pushing onto the Nexus turrets. It's 17 minutes into the game. They've got a Rift Herald to help out G2 Esports. They're going to find one Nexus turret. The Shelly is going to go down. G2 back away. Minion wave starts to conga line its way in. 17 minutes, Rift Herald, Nexus Siege.
That is the only consolation prize, is that Origin don't have a dancing Rift Herald at their base.
Fortunately for Origin, they're looking at death in the eyes right now, and they have no answer as G2 are obliterating them. Nukeduck now looking for at least something back.
All right, a little bit of a numbers advantage here, but G2 are able to escape for now. Nukeduck dashes forward, Void Rush from Cold comes out, Devour buys some time, but look at the damage out. Mickey jumps in with the ultimate, still chasing. Origin behind, 10,000 gold. Shock Blast almost kills Gold.
And you can smell the desperation from Origin. They recognize that this is the one window that they have to attack G2 before they all go back and spend all of that gold, all of those towers that they've taken down.
Ladies and gentlemen, in Twitch chat, press F to pay respects because OG's funeral is coming up. Alfari gets
going
one,
for it.
gets the base. The team, before 20 minutes, is looking for it. G2 Esports are looking at the Nexus. Origin, they're trying to fight back, but they cannot do it. Origin are crumbling to G2. Europe kneels to its champion, G2 Esports. The world awaits G2.